Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrade.com nightly wrap-up show. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Guys, take a moment out. Help out the channel grow. Hopefully, again, out in return, I can continue to help you guys grow as well. All it takes is a moment. Click a like. Again, support. And again, I'll do my best to reciprocate. So, let's talk about the tape. S&P 500 closes above 6,600. Trump makes comments. The China trade is starting to progress. Everything is good in the world. NASDAQ continues to close all-time highs. The April lows feel like they were 25 years ago. The market is rocking. Technology is rocking. Everything is rocking, right? That's the good news. There is no bad news. The market is doing really, really well. And it's really mind-boggling that you have a whole generation of new traders. All they want to do is just short the market. That's literally all they want to do is short the market, short the market, short the market. And by the time their career gets to the point that they should be kind of stepping through the next level, they can't because all they want to do is short the market, short the market. So guys, just remember, okay, 4 o'clock, right? Right now it's 4 o'clock, maybe 20 minutes after. Fair value is the closing price, right? That's when the last buy and the last sell met together. They had a stock baby, and that's the fair value, okay? Oh, don't overthink it. You're missing an incredible rally only to make excuses why you're not participating. You're not participating because social media, everybody wants to short everything in sight. So phenomenal moves continue to go in the market. Technology continues to go crazy. Tesla, I closed off my trade today. Again, if I sound a little tired, I'm up since 4 o'clock in the morning. Elon Musk bought 2.5 million shares basically on Friday in a form for $1 billion worth of stock. And if the first 2 days of this rally wasn't enough, today was just an absolute moonshot. So Tesla only up a mere 85 points in 3 days, which is basically 85% off of its April lows. And congratulations, Tesla's finally green in the year, right? But all jokes aside, Tesla, what an absolute rocket. I wouldn't be surprised because, again, what's Elon worth? $400 or $500 billion by now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit more insider buying hit the tape, sooner than later, just because, again, if you're worth 400 billion, $1 billion is an incredible amount of money to us, but what's $1 billion for him if he has a $400 billion net worth? So I wouldn't be surprised if there are more forms or filings on Tesla, but for now, I am flat. I will be looking for dips in this thing if there is any profit taking whatsoever over the next couple of days. Hell of a run, man. Hell of a run. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations for all you guys who caught the stock. If you've been kind of watching this broadcast just the last 4 days, you knew the importance of those May highs. We closed above the May highs and we went higher, and that was a absolutely phenomenal move. You could tell how good the market is. Pre-market, you saw there was a news blip that China is probing Nvidia, okay, for violating anti-monopoly laws. Nvidia was down like 5 pre-market and closed flat. That's a big deal, right? That's a really bullish statement there. We did see for the next couple of days, we saw some 185 calls continue to come in, some weekly, some for next week. But you can see how now, at least you can see visually now, the fact that they completely engulfed this China headline. If they could get back above Friday's highs, okay, in the next couple of days, again, I'm watching this thing for tomorrow. But if this thing could get back above Friday's highs, we should test last week's highs, the September 11 highs, shortly thereafter, especially if they start pounding those 185 calls in the next couple of weeks of expiration. That would really give us a target of the upper Bollinger Band. So Nvidia did a great job today, swallowing up the headline, basically flat on the day, and some good call buying coming in. Another big story, right? Another big story that came in is China and U.S., or at least the Trump administration. They're trying to find some sort of ground, some sort of framework on a potential TikTok deal. And that headline sprung a lot of names very, very quickly. If you look at the intraday moves, there was a lot of obviously speculation of what company would buy TikTok. And you saw Amazon, right? You saw Amazon, had a big, big spike intraday. You had Oracle had a big, big spike here pre-market. You had Meta had a big, big spike here pre-market. So this is now a fluid situation. Again, Microsoft had a nice move. We talked about Microsoft over the weekend update, reclaiming back to 50-day moving average. But this is now a fluid situation. It's going to be very, very interesting to see if China and the United States can strike some sort of deal, and who's going to be the lucky, right? Who is going to be the lucky company who is going to, buy a big stake in TikTok. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Some other names that got a lot of attention today. Again, maybe it's because of the potential TikTok deal, but Oracle got a lot of weekly 320 calls. Again, maybe people were anticipating that this is going to be the suitor for TikTok, but whatever it was, there was a lot of 320 weekly calls that came in. There was a lot of 360 October calls come in. If you notice, it stopped back-to-back days in the same area. I want to watch this thing in the next couple of days, because if it can reclaim back the last 2 days of challenge, maybe this thing wakes up. Again, those 320 call buyers were coming in very aggressively. The same thing with Amazon. We saw one by one on the other, 235 weeklies, 240 weeklies, 235 weeklies, 240 weeklies. I'm talking about repeat buyers. Again, is this another case of speculation that they could potentially be a suitor for TikTok? Probably. But again, the options market does dictate the equity landscape more chances than not. And again, maybe there's some sort of joint partnership with, Oracle, Meta, Amazon to have control of TikTok. We'll see. We'll see how this game plays out. Some interesting bets we saw today as well. Look at Pony, guys. Right? Look at Pony. We actually had a pivot in Pony. We'll get to the pivots in a second. Pony, a buyer came in. This is a pretty nice looking breakout today above the July highs. A buyer came in for 2,000 of the weekly 1850. That's a nice bet. Okay, that's a really, really nice bet, considering the stock is only 16 and change. So 2,000 times somebody bet for the 1850 weeklies. So that looks good as well. And let me see what else I want to kind of touch base on today. I think those are the more or less big headlines of the day that kind of correlate to kind of what I do. But more important part is what we're seeing, the dynamics of what we're seeing of the market. There continues to be rotation, right? So if one group rests, for example, PLTR that had a really great move on Friday, it rested today. Nvidia that had a great move last week, it rested today. Technically rested, but again, it was down $5. So I'd like to see if PLTR and Nvidia can wake up for the next, maybe tomorrow, right? Could get it, because if this is truly an inside day from a formational point of view, then maybe Nvidia and PLTR start firing up in the next couple of days. What I'd like to see again is Tesla rest. Okay, I'd like to see a Tesla rest, maybe come back into some sort of support over the next 2-3 days and maybe start getting aggressive back into the late of the week. But again, the more I think about it, I would not be surprised. And obviously right now it's 4:30 in the afternoon. There's no headlines, but I'm just speculating, just thinking out loud. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk has more filing and more insider buying, right? Insider buying. One stock that's been on an absolute massive run has been CRWV since the breakdown of September. The stock has gone from $84 all the way up to like $125. You saw news today that $6.3 billion order from Nvidia. And what's good about the stock, if it could just go sideways, because you guys notice it traded all the way up to September 10th into the 50-day supply and got rejected. Guys, watch this thing if it goes sideways in the next 3-4 days. I don't want to see it go tomorrow, but if this thing can go sideways and continue to build above the 50-day moving average, if it could reclaim back last week's highs, man, this thing could really, really wake up as well. So you have NASDAQ, all-time highs. You have the SPX, and let's just use SPY as a proxy, all-time highs. You got the IWM, pretty much all-time highs. You have the Dow Jones Industrial, pretty much all-time highs. The market is good, guys. Again, as much as you can have, all these social media celebrities, folks, there's more people buying stock traditionally in your career than shorting stocks. So the idea that the market is moving higher and you're still trying to short the market, you got to switch gears a little bit. You got to you got to reprogram yourself. You want to be on the side of the tidal wave, not going against. It's very, very tough to be a contrarian in any type of market, especially one that's literally ripping faces off every single day. So let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. Again, congratulations for all you guys in Tesla. Folks, can I make an announcement? I want to make an announcement. Can I make an announcement? For all you guys who follow me on different platforms, whether it's YouTube or StockTwits or X or Twitter, if you did well on Tesla in the last 2-3 days, consider making a $5-10 donation. St. Jude's. It's a phenomenal charity, right? It's an absolute phenomenal charity. Unfortunately, children are born into circumstances that's out of their control. Okay. If you did well and you're doing well and you continue to do well, spend $5. Spend $5, donate $5, $5-10, whatever you can afford to St. Jude's. It's an awesome charity. I usually don't, talk about these things, but it's an absolute amazing charity. As a father of 2 children, who want always the best for your kids. Unfortunately, there's a lot of children out there who cannot control their circumstances. So again, if I'm bringing any type of value to, consider making a $5-10 donation to St. Jude's. All right, let's talk about it, right? Microsoft, which I kind of screwed up a little bit today. I was a little bit tired. I basically broke even on the trade. Kind of sucks. But Microsoft reclaimed back the 50-day moving average. That's a big, big deal. Above the 50-day bullish. Again, this is now the second day above the 50-day moving average. 5/12/55, 50-day reclaims. It did that. It was only trading a little bit thinner today. But again, this is the first close above the 50-day moving average. Again, look at the last time it got above the 50-day moving average. It went absolutely nuts. Let's keep an eye on this thing. I'd like to see some call buying coming in, especially the 5/20, 5/25 weeklies if they can. But Microsoft looks prime. It looked really, really good. Someone was accumulating this thing the whole day, and they finally closed it pretty much at the highs of the day. HIMS had a big breakout on Friday. 52.50, got up to 56 and change, kind of came back in. OKLO was huge, absolutely huge. Congratulations for all you guys who took it or are still in this thing. Buyers came in for the weekly $100 calls. Again, Friday broke out above 81. 85.35 is August highs, needs to confirm. I think we talked about OKLO as well on the weekend video as well. OKLO went out of its mind, closed at highs. Pony looks great. This is the highest close in the whole formation. Again, a buyer came in for the 1850s. It closed right around the highs of the day, only about 20-25 cents above the pivot, but it looks really good. Look at this sucker, right? Look at this sucker right here. This thing right here looks absolutely great. FSLY. 837 weekly chart needs to confirm. Look at FSLY. Went nuts today. Went absolutely nuts today. Got above this whole range. Traded up all the way up to $9 and change. And let me give you guys some plays I like for tomorrow. And then I got to drive my daughter back to training. Basketball season is right around the corner. So here's some names I like for tomorrow. Uber looks ready to rock, looks ready to go here. Very, very close to testing that par value. Weekly $100 calls coming in. Definitely keep an eye on that. PLTR, I am watching, really watching. Inside day today. Let's keep an eye on this thing above last week's highs. Small name I kind of like, RR. Keep an eye on this thing. Buyers were coming in for the $4 weeklies. Keep an eye on this thing. If it confirms today's channel can really wake up. I'm watching, obviously, Nvidia engulfed bad news, which is a good thing. So I'm keeping that as well. And that's it, man. That's it, man. I am tired, but I am, here for you guys. If you are interested in pivots, folks, all it takes is 30 days, guys. All it takes is 30 days. If you've been watching me and following me for a long time, all you need to do is come into the webinar, 30 days, pick my brain. You'll see it in front of you, man. Your eyes don't lie. It is very cool. And the most important part is it's totally understandable and organic because institutional money flow is controlling all this. All right, guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless, and I'll see you on the field tomorrow.